aware that this is your 8th visit to our resort. Your repeat patronage is much appreciated. Is there any assistance I may offer you today?
Actually, a question. Usually when I come here, the shuttle takes a certain route, showing me the beauty of this world.
Huh.
But this time...
Big hotel. Oh, right. We're not going back to security for this. They wanted us to talk to the head of Paradiso. Which I guess works out. He'd be the one that ultimately is going to make the decisions about the planet. And might know the records more than a random security guard. So he might have heard of...
Got some of the best private security in the settled systems.
Yeah, might have heard of this group venture.
It's beautiful out there, isn't it?
Don't worry about us. We're just here to keep the peace.
Executive floor.
My bag.
Excuse me, you can't just waltz in there. Do you have an appointment?
Of course. I kind of do. You have a problem with the ship in orbit, and I'm here to help. I'm here on important business. Do you know who I am? Do I really need one? He told me to keep things low-key about the ship, but I assume here in the executive office it's fine to talk about it.
Oh, you're the one they're waiting for then. Do you need anything else from me before you meet with the board?
Wait, meeting with the board? I thought, okay, sure. Ready to go into the boardroom? What's it like working for Paradiso? What were everyone's thoughts when the ECS Constant showed up? What can you tell me about the board members?
What I could tell you would get me in a lot of trouble. Most of them are typical C-level execs. I doubt you even need to use your imagination for that. The ones that show up to work day to day, at least. I swear, I've never even met some of them, because they chill at their own private secluded beach homes all the time. Anyway, be smart around Oliver. He's got a way of getting what he wants without you realizing it. And that's all I'll say.
Alright, what were everyone's thoughts when the ECS Constant showed up?
People were a little freaked out around here, understandably. It looks so different and it's so massive. We honestly thought we were under attack by an unknown entity. But then, nothing happened. It just stayed there. No one could communicate with it. And we've been very careful not to alert the resort guests. The board believed it would be bad for business.
What's it like working for Paradiso?
I can't speak for anyone else, but I've got a pretty high-pressure job working as the executive assistant to the Paradiso board. You can imagine, dealing with a team of execs, trying to manage all of their schedules and their other whims. But it pays well, and they give me a nice executive suite at the hotel to live in, so it's not all bad. Free access to all the resort's amenities after work helps too.
Alright, well I'm ready to go into the boardroom.
Sure. Have fun in the shark tank. And don't worry, even they call it that.
Paradiso Security's only here for your safety. Pretend we're not even here.
Oh, board is just 3
I
people.
feel that we should be focusing on the natural beauty of this planet, not our amenities.
There are millions of planets out there. People can go to any one of them. The resort facilities are precisely what we bring to the table. Heck, it's the only thing we've really got to offer.
I don't want to risk us coming off as just another artificial, shady, trash-filled dump like Neon. That's not who we are. We've got something special here. We should embrace that.
Blom's right.
Thank you.
We don't want to compete with Neon. Bayou's ruthless. He'll do anything he can to eliminate the competition. We don't need that kind of trouble. That being said, I think there's a middle ground. Maybe build up the beachfront in a boardwalk amusement park. I've had this idea to build artificial hot springs, that sort of thing.
Sounds good. I'll look into what that will cost us and we can circle back around to this.
Alright.
Hello? I didn't realize Kiwi was letting people in here.
Understand you're the man I need to talk to about the strange ship in orbit. Are there really only 3 board members? What can you tell me about Paradiso? You operate this resort outside the cell systems, don't you? We'll start at the bottom as usual.
Not quite. We just don't answer to the Freestar Collective or the United Colonies. Makes things easier. We don't pay any taxes, we don't need to follow their laws. All the benefits, none of the drawbacks. And know and mind, because half the politicians and other big shots love vacationing here. Works for everyone.
What can you tell me about Paradiso?
We, the Paradiso Group, bought the rights to this planet years ago with the intent of turning it into the biggest and best resort in the universe. To that end, I'd say we've succeeded. As such, no other leisure enterprises may operate on the planet without renting land from us. But as you can see, none can afford such a deal.
Yeah, that's going to be problematic for the ship in space. Are there really only 3 board members?
No, of course not. There's several more. We're just the ones who show up day to day. The others spend their time lazing on the beach or gallivanting off-world. Doesn't bother me, though. Less cooks in the kitchen means I get to make all the big decisions around here. Seems to be working out for us just fine.
Okay. Well, I understand you're the man I need to talk to about the strange ship in orbit.
I am. And you must be the diplomat Jiro told me about. Welcome, welcome. Normally I'd offer you an all-inclusive stay at our resort before we spoke. But given the circumstances, I'm going to cut to the chase. We've got our friends, the aliens, up there causing all sorts of problems for our resort. You like that? The marketing team came up with it. The thought is, if we can't get rid of them, it might actually attract more tourism. Come see the aliens!
Let's just get to the matter at hand. That's despicable. You know it's not true. Sure, whatever, it's brilliant. People are never going to fall for that. Why is this problem so urgent to you? Sure, why is the problem so urgent to you?
We run a premier resort getaway here. We can't have our guests concocting stories about some budgy old ship hanging around up there. As it is, we've had to reroute our luxury liners around the other side of the planet on entry so no one sees it. It's bad for business. We need to nip this in the bud and take care of it before the tourists catch on and cause a scene.
Oh, so that guy that I didn't bother listening to all the way who was talking about how his ship took a different flight so he didn't see the scenery he was expecting. That's what they're talking about. Sure, whatever, it's brilliant.
Sarcasm isn't nearly as powerful a tool as some think it is.
I wasn't...
But you're right. No one's going to buy aliens. Remind me to fire the marketing team. So, tell me, what's the actual deal with this massive eyesore of a ship, besides scaring people away?
I wasn't intending sarcasm, I was trying to butter him up. But apparently it took it as sarcastic. It's a generational ship full of colonists from Earth here after a 200-year journey. It's a rickety old Earth ship full of uptight colonists who think they own your planet. Old Earth colonists desperate to settle after 200 years. I'm sure you can exploit that. Oh, harsh. What would you say if I told you it really was an alien mothership here to destroy the planet? I mean, part of me is thinking if I can scare them away from the planet, then the colonists could settle here maybe. But I don't think that would actually work. It's a generational ship full of colonists from Earth here after a 200-year journey.
Well, that's something. Shame we can't just tell them kindly to bugger off. Something tells me that's not going to work.
Of course
now,
not.
Tell me, what are we going to do about it? Give me some proposals, people. I need something to work with here.
We could offer to resettle them here. There's more than enough space.
Thank you, Balam.
They could stay here, temporarily, but it'll cost them. Quite a bit, too. They'd need to work off all their debts before being allowed to leave.
Maybe not. What if we help them get out of here? Outfit their ship with a grav drive so they can find a new home. We could even lend our engineers to help and give their captain an updated star map. What do you think?
Sounds costly. We can't absorb that cost, and it's unlikely they even have compatible currency, let alone enough for the transaction. Someone else would have to foot the bill.
She says, looking at me.
It would be a lot easier if they ceased to exist entirely. Anyway, Seema's got the right idea. Either works for me. Just tell me what you want to do.
I think I've made up my mind. So they can live here, but they'd be indentured servants. Wait, why do I have to buy the grav drive? Cease to exist? Are you suggesting I destroy the ship? Why can't we just let some other authority handle this? Why can't they just settle on the other side of the planet or something? Probably, given that the I've made up my mind line means I get to ask all of these. But we'll start with, why can't they settle on the other side of the planet?
We own this planet, they don't. Here at Paradiso, we don't like leaving things to chance. Who knows what these people will do with their land? Imagine the landscaping disasters they might come up with, and how that might mar the satellite imagery of the planet in our brochures. No, much better to assimilate them into our culture if they come here to live, rather than leave it to chance.
These are human beings and you're worried about landscaping? That's absurd. I understand your point from a business stance, but I disagree. You're probably right. These people could be bad for business in many ways. I understand your point from a business stance, but I disagree.
And that's within your right. But as the CEO of Paradiso Group, I'm the one who has to make and approve decisions around here, not you. So, as much as I appreciate your feedback, it's not in the best interest of the Paradiso Group to take it into account.
Why can't we just let some other authority handle this?
We operate outside of the Free Stars and the UC, partially because we don't want anyone else meddling in our affairs. And we'd rather not draw attention to it. As I've mentioned, it could be bad for business. We'd much rather settle this independently.
Cease to exist. Are you suggesting I destroy the ship?
I'm not suggesting anything, other than it would make our lives so much easier if that ship ceased existing. Make of that what you will.
You are harsh. Why do I have to buy the grav drive?
It's not our responsibility to bear the brunt of that cost. We're being more than generous by offering the use of our engineering team to help install it. A custom grav drive can't come cheap, and I assume they have neither the monetary means nor the connections to get a hold of that kind of technology. That leaves the only other party in this negotiation. You.
So they can live here, but they'd be indentured servants.
Oh, I didn't say that specifically. This would be a mutual contract for room and board in exchange for services rendered. Of course, there's no telling how long this arrangement will last, given the substantial costs we'd need to take on in order to accommodate them here, including their continued room and board. But this may save the resort on operating costs in the long term, as we'd be able to let go of some of our current paid staff.
Wow. You are so harsh. I guess I've made up my mind.
And which proposal will you be taking to the good captain? I assume there's a captain?
Not the settlement deal as indentured servants. Maybe the grav drive and convince them to settle elsewhere. That's already what I was thinking, is there's lots of planets, go somewhere else. Hypothetically, what would make a ship like that go away? What if after all this, they continue to insist their claim to this planet predates yours? I think I can ask that safely. What if after all this, they continue to insist their claim to this planet predates yours?
They'd be hard-pressed to defend their claim in any courts. Our charter goes back years. It was registered with both the UC and Free Star Collective, per the Centaurus Proclamation. We may be outside the settled systems, but that charter's official as can be. I'm sorry, but you're going to need to be the one to break the news to them that they need to make a compromise or leave.
I'll buy the grav drive. Won't be too expensive considering my nearly $300,000 credits, whatever. I'll buy the grav drive and convince them to settle elsewhere.
Ah, good on you. You want to see a man named Benny St. James over at Hope Tech. He's the best in the business. If anyone can retrofit a 200-year-old ship with a modern grav drive, it'd be him. We'll coordinate our engineering team with his when you return, though you may have to help the Constance engineers prepare for it on their end. Good luck.
There's a lot of land out there for the taking. It'll be hard. Talk to anyone enlist. But it'll be theirs.
Right. On behalf of the Paradiso Group, we appreciate your help.
You have done literally nothing. I mean, getting your engineers to help install it is something.
Doing my part to make sure Paradiso remains a paradise.
I had such high hopes for that Balam CEO. He seemed like a good guy. Yes, would be interesting if you could find that claim. Probably, but I think it was just filed on Earth and is now left on Earth. So, not a claim that can actually be pushed because it doesn't exist anywhere. If they could find... If they could find proof that it was in fact filed, and that proof was still viable in such a way that it could be pushed, it would definitely shake things up in interesting ways. But I'm just expecting that's not going to be the case here. So do I report back to them of what our solution was? I guess that's the question. Do I have an optional talk to them? Or do I... There we go. I was like, which quest am I on? No, so I have to just go straight to Hope Tech. So there's no negotiating with her, telling her this is the best compromise I could find. Anything. Alright. Well, let's go to Hope Tech, which hopefully at this point has a new CEO, because the last one's gone. Hope Town. And hopefully it's not terribly expensive. I assume it's not. It's going to be like 10,000 credits or something. That's my assumption, which will be fine. I'm not going to blow up a ship to save myself 10,000 credits and killing however many people are on that generational ship.
Keep an eye on your valuables. If you can't protect your...
So I assume we're going to the guy back in the office who said he did all of their inventing for them. Yeah, this guy here, who's talking about removing chairs out of the pilot's
Hello.
cockpit.
Someone worth paying attention to. Oh, hello. I'm not used to people wanting to talk to me.
I hear you're an expert with grab drives and other ship parts. I need to ask a favor.
Sure, that sounds like me. What can I do for you? I'm a little busy, but I think I could spare some time.
Oliver Campbell sent me. I'm here about a grab drive for an old colony ship. Or we're all busy. I need to know if you could help put a grab drive on an old colony ship or not. Now, Oliver Campbell sent me.
Oh, you should have just said that. Of course I can help you. Oliver sent a courier ahead of you. I did some research on ships from that era, and I have a decent idea what we're dealing with. So grab drives didn't really take off until after the ship was built. But I've got access to an ancient grab drive that looks like it could be compatible. With some minor adjustments. It's in good shape, too. Parts not cheap, though. Neither is the labor. Just pay the combined cost of parts and labor, and it's yours.
Okay. 40,000. Oh. Again, I can cover it. I just don't want to. 40,000. Maybe we can find a way to lower that price a bit. With a persuade.
It's a pretty big ask, given how rare these old grab drives are.
I mean, does it need to be an old grab drive? Couldn't I use a modern grab drive? Part of me just wants to grab these +4 persuasion choices and see if I can use it 3 times. Surely one of the times it'll succeed, rather than trying to do a bunch of +2s and +1s, even though they're easier. But you've had that old part for how long and no one has offered to buy it? Yep. Who knows how long it'll be before you get another offer. Surely the profit you'd make doesn't compare to the freedom you'd be giving these people. He's a businessman. Who knows how long it'll be before you get another offer on that part.
In my experience, the right offer is always worth waiting for.
Surely the profit you'd make doesn't compare to the freedom you'd be giving these people.
Maybe it is selfish of me to demand such a price.
There we go.
Tell you what, sounds like this is for a good cause. While I can't give you the part for free, I won't charge you for the work.
25,000 credits. That seems very reasonable. Thank you. Again, I was hoping for like 10,000 credits, but whatever. 25,000.
You're darn right it is. I'll get to work on it right away. I recommend you go back to the ship and ask the captain to prepare for its retrofit. Standard stuff. I'm sure they have an engineer on board to help. We'll send the part along when it's ready and install it with the help of Oliver's people. Pleasure working with you.
Okay. So we have not informed her that this is the solution we came up with. Where is the downward staircase? I don't know.
Okay, hello.
Found the downward stairs. But yes, we haven't informed her of our solution, so it'll be interesting to go back to her and say, we've solved everything, you gotta find a new planet. Out of my way, Co.
We'd be dust, except for the factory.
However, they're essentially getting a grav drive for their ship for free, which means they can get around space, go wherever they want. Having a ship capable with a grav drive opens up tons of doors for them, where if they have a problem with the planet they choose, they can just fly to another one. So in the long run, I think this is a much better deal, but I imagine they're not going to be happy with it anyway. Because this is our planet, we own it, blah blah blah. And it's like, well, 200 years of government did all agree, say you don't own it. So, sorry. Yeah, it's a big ship outfitted to survive for generations. They can easily... Yeah. This will work out for them, having it have a grav drive and have that capability. Okay, hailing isn't a thing. I guess I just dock without telling them. Like, yeah, there's some frustration that they've been, for generations, been playing on this specific planet, but oh well. And her worry was that they'd have to...
Well, I'm glad you want some sort of alien or something.
She was worried that they'd have to go on another long, multi-hundred-year trip to another planet just to hope that it's available. And we've resolved that issue.
I've lived my entire life in the Constellation.
How... Why is your ship so confusing? Command Bay... Command Bay is left. There's nothing left. Okay. Follow the signs. Command Bay this way.
Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean it won't work.
Command Bay.
Never seen a ship like yours before. Haven't seen any ships.
You are not in the Command Bay. Why not? How dare you have your own schedule and move around on your own? Over there somewhere. Engineering. Oh, I've got to talk to the engineer apparently.
Ship running is no easy task. I was hoping to talk to our visitor from outer space, and here you are! Welcome, welcome! I have a million burning questions, but I won't overwhelm you. There will be plenty of time for that later. Please, indulge me just a couple. How did you do it? Did humanity finally discover faster-than-light travel and eclipse our poor old ship?
Well, you're lucky that you're getting your own brand new grav drive installed. So, yeah. They've also had generations planning on saving humanity, but that isn't happening. That is also true. That's another part of their culture that they've developed that is also not going to happen. I have no idea how these things work, but they do. I don't really have time for this. We have a tech called grav drive that allows the ship to bend space.
I knew it. It's incredible! I read about this technology in our archives from Earth, but it was only theoretical back then. Amazing! I'll have to learn more.
Yes, you will.
Oh, I've got so many questions, but I'm being rude. I haven't even given you my name. Chief Engineer Kazemi, but you can call me Amin. And, I might add, I'm one of the reasons we're still floating out here today.
I'm Orion. There's something else I need to talk to you about, Amin. Whatever, I'm Orion. Look, I need to go. I get it. You want to know more about what's changed since your ship departed. If you know it's rude, maybe you should stop bombarding me with so many questions. No, I'm going to be nice to this guy. I'm Orion. There's something else I need to talk to you about, Amin.
Yes, of course. Anything for my new friend.
I'm supposed to help you prepare the ship for the grab drive. You said you had more questions for me. With a ship this old, do you have any good heroic engineering stories? What do you do as chief engineer? If your predecessors knew about grab drives, why didn't they wait for it instead of setting out? Well, you already said that they thought it was theoretical. Didn't think it would actually happen.
Ah, great question. I do not know for sure, but I can venture a guess. All of the reading I've done on the matter suggests that at the time, there was uncertainty that the technology would ever work, or if it did, that it would work at the scale we needed. So, I trust they made the decision to strike out when they did, fully believing it was the only way.
Alright, well, what do you do as chief engineer?
Some may say I'm a master of keeping things together with nothing but duct tape and bubblegum. Well, if we had any gum left. Pretty sure that ran out 100 years ago. When I'm not dealing with catastrophic engine failures, I manage the other engineers. We maintain all the machinery, computers, you name it. We keep the life support on, and the ship flying.
With the ship this old, do you have any good heroic engineering stories?
Many years ago, when I was a junior engineer, the reactor's computer burned out. The computer that controls the reactor's various regulators. I'll spare you the details, but when that happens, the ship and everyone on it is in danger of turning into a mess of hot slag. I had to jury-rig parts from old media devices to prevent a meltdown. And that's how I became the boss around here. You okay there?
Yes. You said you have more questions for me?
Yes, so many. Does everyone have their own spaceships like you? Do people only live on naturally habitable planets, or did they learn to terraform? Are we in contact with alien species? I have so many more, but I don't want to take up all your time.
Well, not everyone has ships, but many people do. No terraforming, but there are colonies on inhospitable planets. We just use hab units and suits. No sentient life as far as we can tell, but plenty of diverse living creatures. I'll go through all of those. Well, not everyone has ships, but many people do.
I knew it! Incredible! Amazing! Simply amazing! In our ancestors' time, only the very wealthy could afford to build ships. Even this ship was only possible by our families pulling together nearly all of their financial resources.
No terraforming, but there are colonies on inhospitable planets using hab units and suits.
I'm not surprised. The amount of energy it would take to terraform an entire planet seems improbable. I can assume these types of colonies are strictly for mining and gathering rare resources, since there are nearly limitless habitable planets to choose from out there.
Exactly. You guys get the privilege of finding a new hospitable planet. Have fun. No sentient life as far as we can tell.
Disappointing, but not unexpected. When you showed up, I tried to tell the others about the Fermi paradox. I suggested that the most likely explanation for you was that humanity had developed faster, more advanced technology and had leapfrogged us. Seems I was right.
You were. That's all the questions and answer time I have for now.
Thank you for taking the time to talk with me. I can have a bit of a big personality, I'm told. So let me know if I ever get on your nerves.
You're fine, I mean. I'm supposed to help you prep the ship for a grab drive.
What grab drive? Just joking with you. The Paradiso engineers filled me in. Okay, let's see what we need to do. All right. This will be fun. And hopefully there will be no explosions in the process. I have just received word that the drive is here. Ready to get to work?
That was fast. Ready as can be. Sorry, did you say something about explosions? You need my help? Sorry, did you say something about explosions?
Oh, don't worry about that. Just a little engineering humor. We've kept this ship going with minimal incidents this long. I'm not about to let anything happen to it now.
Good.
But To be clear, what we're doing is very dangerous, and we should be prepared for anything.
All right. What do you need my help for?
Yes, of course I need your help. My team needs to stay on top of their daily maintenance, and I need to make my own preparations for this gravity drive you brought us. Your help is going to be vital to this procedure. And have no worries, it'll be easy. I'll guide you through the process.
Okay, then I'm ready as can be.
Great, great, great! There are 3 preparations I need you to help me make while I set things up on my end. First thing I need you to do is reroute the power from the port turbo pump to the auxiliary cryogenic radiator. Then, turn the plasma runoff inhibitor function to 5%. Last, you'll need to decouple the magnetic flange pipe enclosures from the auxiliary module assembly. Got it? Let's hop to it!
Those were definitely words. To be used only by under supervision of a qualified engineer. Access granted. Which system would you like to adjust? I did not listen well enough as I should have.
Wow. Hi.
Okay. Prepare the ship for the grab drive. Reroute power from the port turbo pump to the auxiliary cryogenic radiator. That's where we start. Port turbo pump to auxiliary cryogenic radiator. Why are you guys on the computers I need? Apparently I can just use them. Nope, that's the third one that I need.
Hey there.
Oh, start with Alpha. Makes sense. I'm wanting to say it was the turbo pump starboard to the cryogenic radiator something. Didn't pay attention. Port turbo pump, auxiliary cryogenic. Port turbo, auxiliary cryogenic. Order matters, yes, screenshot. Okay, so the port turbo pump. I'm going to save. Port turbo pump to auxiliary cryogenic. Good. So that one's done now. So then we go to beta. And that was the one about 5%. Turn the plasma runoff inhibitor to 5%. Plasma runoff inhibitor to 5%. Plasma runoff inhibitor to 5%. Good.
If the other colonists...
And last, my brain is not good at holding on to these. Decouple the magnetic flange pipe enclosures from the auxiliary module assembly. Magnetic flange pipe enclosures from the auxiliary module assembly.
Anytime the constant...
Magnetic flange pipe enclosures decouple from the radiator flanges auxiliary? Alright, screw it. I'm writing it down. Auxiliary module assembly. I need notes. This is too much. Too many words. magnetic flange pipe enclosures from auxiliary module assembly. Also, the fact that the words are in different orders and whatnot adds to the confusion and difficulty of my brain remembering. Magnetic flange pipe enclosures decouple from the auxiliary module assembly. There we go. I don't know what happens if you get it wrong.
Looks like everything is good to go on both your end and mine.
Okay.
Thanks.
Alright, now I gotta go talk to the captain, who is hopefully in the command bay. Please.
The Constant is a peaceful ship. We've got strict rules around.
Hey, Captain.
We didn't believe anyone would be out here, but I'm glad for it.
Grab drive is installed. You should be all set now.
Well, well, it would appear we have the means to go nearly anywhere now, thanks to you.
You're welcome.
The engineers even upgraded our communications equipment so we can speak with passing ships. Turns out it was a pretty easy fix. Thank you again for all you've done.
You are welcome. No problem at all. Glad it worked out. Sure, let's talk about payment now. Where will you go now?
We don't yet know, but we did receive a star map from the Paradiso engineers. I suppose we'll just chart a course for other suitable habitable worlds until we find one that matches the quality of Paradiso. Purima 2 here.
Well, no problem at all. Glad it worked out.
Without you, we'd most likely be stuck. But you went above and beyond.
Yeah, 25,000 credits.
I'll make sure people tell tales of your generosity for as long as our society lives. I don't know if we can ever fully repay you. Thank you again.
Bunch of antique stuff. Like baseballs, hockey sticks.
Our people's safety.
They're just like, here's a bunch of our old sports equipment that's not being used. Have fun. Engineering, I don't think is where I'm wanting to be.
Now that we know what's out there, things are...
Cargo bay. That's where I'm wanting to be. Yes, Mantis. That was the next one I wanted to do before I got sidetracked here. But it was a fun quest. I enjoyed that one. And I think that was resolved as the best compromise possible.
Hey, you need something?
Nope. But yeah, wouldn't it be great if their ship just disappeared? It's like, they're colonists. You want me to just blow them up? Come on, people. Just to save you some profits? Or enslave them? Monsters. Alright. Now this is where we were actually trying to go to. To a secret outpost here.